everybody, and welcome back to another Nuwe stream. I am your host, Talal, and today we are going to be doing some more coding. So, not much to say today. I think I'd like to delve right into it. One thing I would like to say was that the problem that I have been having, or actually the challenge that I was facing last time, was one that I was able to solve off stream. And I did that because I didn't know how much time it was going to take me had I done it on stream, but luckily I did it off stream, and I can explain to you pretty much how I figured it out. So yeah, essentially we could like dive right into it, I suppose. So essentially, if you guys remember, in the last stream we were having an issue reordering everything, or actually reordering the squares of the map, so that it appeared the way it was appearing in our processing application. So just as a refresher, I'm going to open the map up. I wonder if I can open the old map up. I don't think so. Is that the... Let's check. All right, so the only thing that I did different in the code is that, first of all, I went into the TS config and I removed the strict, I don't know what you call it, but I removed the strict option over here and I replaced it with the no implicit any to false. All right. Luckily, every time I restarted my server up, it refreshes and goes back to default. So I can show it to you. Right, so I'm going to start up my server here, and you can see that the strict true option was reinstated, right? And it gives me an error exactly because of that rule, I suppose. Let's call it a rule, shall we? All right, so if I remove that and I save it, right, so I make TypeScript not be strict, you can see that the map successfully prints out. So it's a shame because I do not have the same map to show it to you. Well, I don't have the old map that I had on processing to show you a comparison between the two. But when you look at this, I mean, it does give you a good idea of how it could, of how it looked like, I suppose. It's like exactly the same map, which is great. One thing I am doing is that I am writing the coordinate of the squares on the squares, so I can kind of visualize, excuse me. I've had a nap earlier, I'm kind of a little drowsy. So I can kind of visualize everything, right? So I'm pretty happy that it turned out the way that it did. And I think if we were to talk about like what the code in specific was that made that possible, it was, first of all, in the I'm sorry, this is way too loud. Right, so the first thing was that I realized that the for loop and the way that it helps us reorder the array that we wanted to reorder is is reliant on the second for, right? So the first for has, so it's, if I'm not mistaken, why is it 52, right? It is 52. Can't remember actually why it's 52, but it's 1944 because we have 1944 objects within our JSON file. So the first for runs once, and the second for will run 1944 times, running through the entire JSON file and checking, okay, so is the Y, okay, first it says like, if the object is undefined, I'm sorry, it checks as to whether or not the object is undefined. If it's not undefined, it runs the code that it's supposed to run, because if I don't add this in, it just gives me like, oh, you can't do that because, you know, this is undefined yet for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure if like I need to add some sort of an effect hook or something like that. I'm not sure. Probably what I am going to do is make that some sort of an application that actually saves the new reordered JSON into a separate file, and then we load the map using that separate file, and all of that would be is some sort of a separate application that helps us reorder the maps that we generate from the processing application. Yeah, it makes me think. It makes me think that I also want to change the colors, because I feel like they are. Well, first of all, they have water, and I don't want it to have water, so I want to like be able to add mountains and stuff, or have it have mountains and stuff rather than water. But yeah, it's nothing I'm too concerned about right now. We could probably do it later. So yeah, going back to the code. Yeah, so first we check if the array that contains our objects is not undefined, and then we go through all 1944 items within it. So I think, I'm not sure what you call them. I think those are objects, right? So we go through all 1944 objects. We check the Y value, right? And then if we say if, let me show you. Right, so if the Y is equal to count Y, which is 1, right? Then we want you to push that object into the array R. And why did I do that? And if you look at the top line over here, you'll notice that there's the values of Y on the top line is 1, and then as you go down it goes 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. So I did the exact same here. I'm sorry, I did the exact same thing here. We iterate through the entire array 52 times, and I think it's 52 times. Well, I mean, I don't think it needs to be 52. I think it can go up to. Oh, actually, no. Hold on. Oh yeah, there you go. It's because. Hold on, no. Yeah, I think there's 35. Yeah, I think there's 35. Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure why it's 52, but I think you know, it's not something I want to think about right now. So anyway, it just iterates through the entire thing, and then yeah, it just pushes the values that we're looking for into our array. Now, what does that mean? It means that instead of them being saved into the object vertically, right, in columns, they're going to be saved in rows. And that would help us because once we render them on HTML, when our JavaScript renders them onto the page, they are going to be rendered each one on top of the other, right? So it's going to be like 0, 1 and 1, 1. They're actually going to be on top of one another. But then because we have the CSS, we have that option in CSS where we have everything set into a grid of some sorts, which means that it brings the 1, 1 that was below the 0, 1 and then brings it up to right next to it. And that's how we get the lines instead of, well, that's how everything becomes correct, essentially. If that makes sense. I mean, if you were following the older streams, then you know how this used to look like. Instead of seeing what you're seeing right now, we were seeing like streaks of colors that were, that were not indicative of a map at all, right? So anyway, now that I've explained that, right, very, very crudely, very roughly over here, again, I gotta apologize because I've just had I've just woken up from a nap. So today the thing that I want to work on is, as you can see, like over here, we can click on each one of these squares, right, which is great. Now the thing that I want to do is I want to be able to click on one of them, but then if I click on another, I want the old one to have the outline that's drawn around it disappear. Great. So how do we do that? To be honest, I'm not too sure. But it probably should say something like, all right, so over here, actually handling the click by sending it over to this. Right. I remember I saved something on my phone that that can help me find a solution for it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can find it, actually. I would love to see whether or not I can find the website so I can show it to you guys. Okay, I think I found it. Let me see if that's it. Yes. Yeah, I have no idea how I'm gonna send that to my computer, but whoa. Okay. All right, I'm actually just gonna try to like write it down. Code sandbox, code sandbox. .io/embed. /JJ43. Is that a pipe? Or an L? Or an I? It's an L, I think. 66. R09 question mark. Code mirror equal 1. There it is. Okay, there it is. You see that? That's exactly what we're looking for right here. Oh, hold on. Do you see it? Yeah. Thank God you see it. Hello. What are you making? I'm glad you asked. I'm doing a video game. I'm doing a video game that kind of looks like Tribal Wars. Have you ever played Tribal Wars? Right, so if you check Tribal Wars right here, right, and I go into the map, right? Let me see here. All right, here, these guys have a map, and on they have like div squares or something, right? And on each one of the squares they have a village of some sorts, and your village is on one of these, right? And then you can grow your village, you can train troops and stuff, and then you can conquer other villages, you know, kicking other players out of the game essentially. So I would like to create something similar to that, but instead of villages you would have a unit that you can move around and stuff. Now, yes, super hard. I mean, you need to be like a full stack developer with, you know, like several years under your belt, under your sleeve. Anyway, so in the effort of learning how to do web development, I have taken it to myself to try to build a website, but I am also passionate about game development, so I figured, you know what, maybe I'll try to create a game that's browser based instead. Now, I mean, I know it's super I know it's a super what's it called, what's the word for it? I mean, it's a daunting project, and I know it very well, but and I might not even finish the project, but it's just a way for me to learn how to do it, you know. I am learning coding and everything on Codecademy, right? And if I show you the career path that I've taken, where is it? Yeah, right here. My progress is 24% out of the 100%, and I have almost finished the. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down to where like the interesting stuff are, right over here, right? React, right? I'm almost done with React, right? I have the function and hooks, and then advanced React. As soon as I'm done with those, yeah, there's React Router as well, which I'm fairly familiar with. Then there's Redux, and only after that do they start like taking you a little bit into the backend stuff, GitHub, and yeah, backend development and stuff like that. So I mean, I still have a long way to go, and it's not like I'm like I don't know it, you know. I started learning React a month ago, but I just can't create anything easy. Do you have a programming related background? I actually graduated in graphic design. So I wouldn't say that I have a programming background, no. All the programming that I've learned on my own, really. I remember the first time that I started learning, I had picked up the head first into JavaScript. head first or something like that. JavaScript. What was it called again? Yeah, head first JavaScript programming. I had downloaded it on my tablet, and I was reading that. But yeah, I've had some experience as well, you know, learning in university. I did some coding when I was doing my master's degree. We did some coding, not much. The majority of the coding that I did was in C#. I did a video game prototype, quote unquote, because, you know, it was like barely a finished prototype. But you know, that's pretty much as far as I've went into programming, and that was back in like 2017, something like that. Are you trying to get a programming job? Well, maybe. My ideal situation would be that I would create the game that I would like to create. I mean, that one is one of them, right? This one is one of them. I have another one that I have been working on for a year that did not make it to the funding stage, let's say. Which, I mean, I'm kind of bummed about it, but my programmer, the programmer that was working with me, unfortunately, had, you know, some, you know, real life related, well, he was busy. Let's just say that. He was busy and he couldn't, spare time. He couldn't find the spare time to work on the video game that we were creating together, and so I was down a programmer, and I couldn't, you know, kind of follow through with the funding and all that, you know, trying to find investors and funding, because, well, essentially I didn't have anyone to help me program it. So I mean, it would have been better if I was able to pay him, right? But I wasn't able to, and every time I can pay him, he's like, oh, I'm busy, so I couldn't reach out to him. So I figured, you know what, I'll just, you know, go into it myself and try to do some coding myself. And maybe at some point after I have put together enough money to throw into a project, you know, I would have found someone with whom I can work with. Now that's on one side, right? Because I mean, that's one plan. The other plan is that, all right, you know, like up until that point, you know, like I can work on a video game, and hopefully, you know, like something comes out of it, you know, like it starts taking momentum. And maybe I can find collaborators or something, and eventually I, you know, build the whole thing that I want to build. Now, I mean, this is all speculative, right? I mean, I like to be optimistic about it, but you never know. Maybe like I work on this for like another 2 months or something like that, and then I stop, and then I move into, you know, like regular website building. But I mean, so far so good, right? It seems as though like this is something that's going to stick, because I mean, I've been working on this for a while now. I think it was like several months, you know. Yeah, but I am optimistic though, you know. I mean, at least if I can show something, you know, like at least if I can reach a point where there's like, you know, like you can move a unit, and maybe like you can interact with the world and stuff like that, maybe then that would kind of, what's the word for it? how do you say it? Like when there's a snowball going down, going downhill, you know, like it would gain. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? Like it would just gain momentum, for lack of a better word. Like I would start doing one thing and then another thing, and then if I see progress, then that's great, you know. Yeah, and then maybe I can show off, maybe I can like show that it has potential or something like that, and maybe they're seeing that the development is moving forward, then, you know, I would be encouraged to keep on working it more and more. Hopefully I can inspire people, or like maybe I can grab people's interests, you know. Maybe it's something that they would like to see created one day. Who knows, you know. Anyway, yes, where were we? We were here, right? Okay, so you're making a game based on another game. Is that plagiarism? No. Well, technically I'm not doing a game that's based on another game. I'm taking inspiration from that game, and then I'm creating that game, you know, in its essence, let's say. Right, this one is based in villages, mine is based in units. You know, that's pretty much a huge difference as it is, you know, on its own, right? And these guys, man, like they had so potential to grow this game, which is a shame because I was like super fan of it. But then I don't know, like they went too commercial. They were like, they took it in a different direction, which I totally disagreed with, but who knows? Maybe that was for the best. But anyway, yeah, no. So to answer your question, it's not plagiarism. I mean, it's I mean, legally speaking, you know, it's hard for me to know where the line is drawn, you know, as well, because you can have something like Just Cause and GTA, right? Legally speaking, where do you draw the line? You know, when is one of those two games, or whichever one was the first? I don't remember which one was first. I think Just Cause maybe came out first, or maybe the other way around. But, you know, like, so at what point can Rockstar say like, oh, you know, like these guys are creating a game that's too similar to the game that we're creating? Anyway. So technically, here we're gonna have to use state. So he's using state, and then he's mapping everything, and then as he maps everything, he says active equals. What's active? Question mark. He's passing active as an argument. Is that an argument? No, hold on. That's a prop. I think that's a prop. Right? So that's a prop. This is why it's actually here. Okay, so he passed it in as a prop. Uh-huh. Alright, so maybe we can pass it in as a prop, actually. Where is it? Where are we calling map parser? Over here. Yeah, so we can say something like active over here. You know, I think not, because we're actually mapping through all the yeah, we're actually mapping through all the object values, and we're, let's say, injecting them into this div over here. So this div over here is probably the one that has to, I think so, right? Like if we add the active to this thing, where is it? If we add the active to this thing, would it work? You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna do guesswork. Okay, so I'm gonna say active right here. And then we're gonna pass it in through here, active equals, what are we gonna say? What does this thing say? Oh, okay, no, it's not gonna work because it's, yeah, again, no, it's because like here we're not mapping through them like they are over there, so we're definitely gonna have to like add it over here for sure. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to like add something like this. Maybe like on click. Yeah, just FYI, Flint, my knowledge of React is really rudimentary. So if you want to help out, please feel free. But what is the active? I still don't understand what active does. T equals chosen. Oh, you're new too. All right, cool. All right, so this is what essentially I'm trying to do, right? Over here on the top right, yeah, you can see it. I want to be able to click on my squares or my map squares and be able to switch in between them and have it highlight only the square that I'm clicking on, right? Now, this is a different use case, which is why I can't just copy and paste the code. But essentially what he's doing, he's mapping through day. What is day actually? Oh, right. So he's so he's mapping this. But what is he getting the count? Test. Oh, okay, right. So he's mapping these. And then he's saving them into T, the values. Okay. T equals chosen. All right, so where does he set state for the chosen one? He's supposed to be setting state somewhere. Set chosen right here. On click, set chosen. Ah. Right, so over here, when we do the handle click over here, we can send it here, e.mouse event, and then we can set state right below, right? And before we do that, we're gonna have to define it, I think. All right, actually, doesn't need to be global scope. I think it could be just inside this scope over here. So we can say const chosen, set chosen. We can say set state, use state. And then after we do that, we can say set chosen to E, like so. Okay, I don't know why it's requiring me to do that, but let me say this: if E is not equal to undefined, Then set the chosen to E. It's some TypeScript thing, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. No, still not. It says it's not assignable to parameter of type previous state undefined. Okay, it makes me wonder actually if we even need to, you know, like handle the click that way. You know, we could probably just like say exactly what they said over here, which is an empty callback function with set chosen. Oh, sorry. ST. Oh, as R? Can we do that? No, we cannot. All right, so why can't we set this? Oh, set chosen is not global, so maybe if we take it, put it global, that works. But what is it? Is it because you want me to define what it is? React.mouse event. Is that what you need? What do you need? Is not assignable to parameter of type. That's weird, you know? Super weird. All right, there we go. Everything's back to normal now. But I would still like to find out why this is not working. I mean, technically, it should. It's an argument, not a parameter. What does that mean, though? Is it that I'm just saying it wrong, or are you just trying to point out something? E is an argument. Oh. Okay, so it has to be like E dot something, right? Let me see. Okay, let's just say, no, E dot client X, for example. Dot toString. Oh. Hold on. Okay, so argument of type mouse event, element mouse event is not assignable to parameter of type that. Previous state undefined. Oh, do we need to set state? Do we need to like tell it, you know, like use this as a, or like 0 or something? No. All right, I'm just gonna grab that real quick, just pop it in here, see what this tells us. Create a new function that calls fetch data. Yeah, see, like, because I'm calling everything from a JSON file, it makes me wonder as to whether or not I should be like doing some sort of asynchronous operation going or something. This is a very common error prevented by TypeScript with a rows next to it. You know, I started writing this thing in TypeScript, and now I'm thinking to myself, like, why did I even? You know, because I'm facing so many errors that I either don't understand or like that are redundant. Provides no match for signature. Okay, so I have set it as undefined as well. So here's where we're getting the same thing. You need an initial value inside the use state, I think. Yeah, that's what I think as well. But every time, sorry, I tried passing in an initial state like 0 or something, but the error still persists. And the thing is that I can't have an initial state because that the initial state is actually what the player presses. So technically you maybe I can have like some sort of a, can you send me the link of the use case? This one? Yeah, over here you see, like, yeah, it's they have, actually no, they don't even have a set state value, or you know, like they don't have an initial value set. What they do have, active t equals chosen. T equals chosen, and then chosen is this one, right? So this one is undefined until this is set on click. Hold on, let me reload this for a second. Yeah, there you go, see? Like, they don't have a preset use state. Active. Maybe we could do the same thing for class name. I mean, there's like multiple ways I'm sure that we can approach this. Class name active. Right, I mean, ideally, we would pass class name whatever we compute over here, right? So we can say something like, okay, so now that you clicked on this, right? Hold on, what does map return again? Like, does it return the index? What does it return? Creates a new array populated with the results of calling a provided function on every element in the calling array. Right. Yes, it returns an array. And over here, what we're doing is we're returning an array, and we're setting it to t, right? And then we want it so that on click, we want to set chosen t. Okay, technically that should work, technically. Oh, there it is, it worked. What do you know? Right, and then we say over here in class name, what did he say here? You know, like, it's surprising because I did it the first time and it didn't work, but now it's working. So over here, he's saying, all right, so if it's active, all right, so t is equal to the chosen one. How can we make that? How can we make that? Because set chosen t, and then class name. Maybe class name is the one that we would send over to. Let's send it to a different function. All right, we're gonna say handle name. Let's say that handle. Handle name. Like so. Okay. I'm not sure if it needs to be an empty callback function, but let's try this out. Handle name, like so. Type void is not assignable to type string. Okay, no. Right, so this is still void. So let's say we return something like t. Doesn't resolve it. Is not assignable to type string. Okay, so what if it's just this? All right, cool, works, great. All right, so we want to say over here that. What? Okay, no, this we don't need anymore. I don't think so. Okay, so what we want to say is that set chosen. Right, over here we're setting chosen. So every time we're clicking on one of the squares, we're setting the chosen. All right. And over here in class name, we want to say like, okay, is the square that you're clicking on the one we already have saved in the state? If not, then do this. If so, then do that. All right, so it's a conditional, right? So something like, can we pass t? All right, so we say like t, t is equal to chosen, question mark. If yes, then say, hold on. No, see, like when you click on it twice, it stays green, and I don't want that to happen. I actually want it to, if it's the same one. All right, so I'm adding a layer of difficulty, right? Because over here, it just says like, oh, okay, so if it's not, then highlight it. And if it is, you know, don't do anything. In our case, I want it so that if it's the same one, I want to unhighlight it. I want to deselect it, right? So I mean, just to try it out, you know, we could say not, sorry, or maybe okay, so highlight and unhighlight. I don't even know if that is a word, on highlight. Okay, and then over here we need to pass it to this, right? Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. So we say highlight and unhighlight, like so. Okay, and over here we're gonna give it a border of 1 pixel. Can we set the border color? Border color black. And unhighlight would be no border, actually. Border 0 pixels. That's it. Okay. Expected in an assignment or function call and instead saw an expression. Where? Hold on. Class name. Okay. Void is not assignable to type string. Hold on. Okay, return T. Does that work? That worked. That should work. Just for the sake of not getting a loss between the variables, I'm just going to change it to an S instead of a T. Okay, so that's not working. Handle name, and we're passing T into this, and then we're saying, is T equal to the chosen one? Because it's supposed to be on click. If it is, then do this. If it's not, then do that. I wonder if you can do a ternary operator with like 3 different values instead of 2. I mean, probably not, but I mean, worst case scenario, we just turn that into if statements, right? If, else, if, else, if, else, and we're good. Sorry, if, else, if, and else, right? Instead of that. Which is fine, it's totally fine. But before we get there, we just need to figure out like whether or not we can get this to work. Line 83, 7. 83, right here. So it does not like this. Expected an assignment or function call and instead saw an expression. Assignment or function call. I wonder why. I mean, yours is a Boolean, it's true or false. Yeah. But why is it a problem? Because technically we're not a value, highlight or unhighlight. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so we're not supposed to return this, but we're supposed to return something. Okay. Okay, so I mean, if I do this, does it still work? No, I still have to return something, otherwise it's going to be void. Right, so what am I returning? Can we like do a const whatever, and set that equals to this, and then we'll return that. Yes, high five, dude. Hell yes. Okay, so I actually reset the... No, the W is now taking the result. So we're saying like W is equal to whatever this ternary operator returns, right? Or evaluates, or 2. You're good, dude, you're good. Trust me, you're a lot more help than anything else. So essentially we just need this to stay within the highlight and to stay within the unhighlight. That way we can see the numbers small, nice and clean, right? But now if you click, oh no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. All right, what do we have here before? Element, style, border, thin, solid, black. We're returning the W, which is either highlight or unhighlight, which means that the class name technically should be equal to that, right? And here we're setting chosen. Unhighlight. So it can't be like dynamic? I mean, it should be dynamic. I mean, one thing's good is that at least it's passing in, you know, the value. But my question is like, why isn't it changing? Is it because it's a const? I doubt that's it, but yeah. Oh! Yo, it switched to highlight. Hold on. Let me take out this, because this is throwing me off. I'm just gonna put it here in the comments so that if I want to use it again. All right, so now. Where is it? There it is. See that? It's changing. So it is changing. Why isn't it giving it a border? Oh, Z index. We're probably not seeing it because it's like behind everything. No? Maybe. Z index 1000. No, 1900. Oh, 2000. No. The class is changing. Do we put it in a use effect so that it like can re-render? Maybe because that's the problem. Maybe the problem is that, you know, the values here are changing, but it's just that it's not reloading the component. Which makes me wonder whether or not I can actually do that. I mean, over here, can... Can we even do that? Like, can we have actually like put the use effect somewhere over here? Yeah, but then we would be reloading everything. That's not ideal, is it? Well, technically, we don't need to use effect because it's been working just fine when I was using this function over here. Okay, so highlight is this, font size is that, border. Was it the border that we're at? Yeah, it was the border. What were we setting it to? Thin solid black. Let's set it to thin solid black over here. Thin solid black. And then we'll take this out. Okay, and let's see if that makes a difference. Oh dear God, dude, that freaking sends shivers down my bones. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe it worked. Holy shit. All right. So that we figured out, right? Oh my God. Oh God. Do you want to set a type to this? String? I mean, is it even a string? No. Technically, what is it equal to? What is t? It's an entire object, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. Still working? Still working. Okay, so I want to change this up, right? And we're gonna write an if-else statement. So we're gonna say let W over here. Actually, no, hold on. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna say S is equal to chosen. If it is, we return yeah, so here's the thing. Well, we probably have to like store the previous one. Your stream is shown. Hold hold on. If I type 1 or okay, because I have it. Sorry, my bad. Yo, thank you for the heads up, man. Technically, it's not supposed to do that. Thank you anyway. All right, so here's the thing, right? Let me visualize it for you. Okay. So yeah, every time we're clicking on the current square, we're saving it to chosen, right? So it's happening like this: click, then it's saving to chosen, and then we're comparing it. Where are we comparing it? Is S equal to chosen? Well, the chosen is being set on each click, right? So it's like immediate. But which one is not immediate? Like, what is it comparing it to? What's the S? Set chosen. And then handle name T, right? So it's passing that here, right? So we're comparing the class name to it. We're comparing the class name to the one that's being currently chosen, right? Okay, so chosen. And then we're saying like compare are we? S is this one here. Yeah, so we're like kind of comparing the current, right? Compare clicked with yes, compare clicked with saved, something like that. I mean, it's super weird, right? Because it's happening like almost virtually at the same time, right? And then if it is, then here it does nothing. But if it isn't, it is if it's not equal to the same one, then it highlights it. It highlights it and unhighlights plus unhighlights the other one. Right. Now over here is what we want to do. We want to say like if it's true, right, then actually unhighlight it as well. Unhighlight. Like compare with a save. Is it highlighted? Then unhighlighted. Right, so how do we do that then? S equal to chosen, right? Okay, yeah, okay, great, right? If S equal to chosen Which one's the current one that is being sent to us? Is the on-click one is the current one that's being sent to us. So we say if s.className.class. No, hold on. Yeah, how can we access the class actually? Like how can we check like whether or not the class name of the element that's being clicked is has the class name of highlighted? All right, I'll get to that in a second. Let's make sure it works first, okay? So here we'll return if s is equal to the chosen, then highlight it. Else return unhighlighted or unhighlight, like so. And I could state it, you know, I could state it explicitly, but let's just see if that works. All right, it works fine. Fairly fast. I feel like it could be faster, but that'll do for now, right? So this is working, but now when I click on the same one, I want it to disappear as well. So how do we do that? Let's console log it. How about that? Console log, and we'll check what's inside of it so that we can figure out what we can manipulate. All right. Right over here, we got typography, we got object. What else we got? Constructor. I don't know what proto has. Proto. I don't think there's anything of use to us, is it? Isn't it? This is like all the stuff that we can use on it, aren't those? Define getter. Define setter. Constructor. Name object. So how can we get the class name of the object that we're clicking on? Can we pass it? Can we pass it somehow? Handle name T. T is going into this, and then we're setting it. We're setting its. We're setting its class name by using the object and checking whether or not the object is equal to the object that has been already saved to the state. So technically we're not using anything that has to do with class names. Maybe we can do like what is it called? Like one of those AND gates or whatever they're called. No, not AND gates. So it's like if it's true, then set to false. If it's false, then set to true, kind of the thing, right? So here, let me. So over here would be something like set. Okay. Hold on. How do we do it? we define a variable, maybe variable is true. If it's true, if it is true, then set to false. If it's not true, that's set to true, something like that. And that's how we would know whether or not to return highlight or to return the other thing, right? So, and then here we say like if is true. I don't know why I'm not writing it correctly. So if is true, so why don't you like this? Variable declaration expected. Variable is true. Equal true. If true, then set to false. And if false, set to true. Yeah, I forgot that they didn't have to be strings over here. And then we say like, if it is true, man, I really hope this works. We return highlight. Otherwise, we return unhighlight. Jesus. It's exciting. So what's going on here? So it's not even highlighting. How about we say here, let is true equal to, what is it going to be equal to first? Oh, hold on. Why is this like, oh, okay. Because I'm writing something down. So let is true equal, it has to start with true. So equal to true. And then we remove that so that it takes away the error. And then we save it, reload it over here. Well, technically it's supposed to work, isn't it? All right, so because, oh no, because every time we're going through it, it's setting it to true again. So if we set it into global scope over here, now it should work. It's a deal, man. What's going on? Is true equal to true? Right? So every time we click, hold on, but I'm not going to explicitly state that it's true. All right, I'm going to say, I'm just going to define it like that, and then we're going to go into this, and then we're going to say is true. If it's true, set it to false. If it's false, no, hold on. If it's true, set it to false. You know, I've looked at the word true so many times, and now I'm wondering as to whether or not I'm writing it correctly. You know how when you look at a word for so long, you kind of forget how it's written? It happens to you? Okay. Cool. So is true equal true? Question mark? Yes, it is equal to true. All right, then set it to false. If it's not equal to true, it's false. All right, then set it to true. We're starting with true. So if is true, which is it is, we return highlight. Oh, we need to set it to highlight, and then we said okay, I got it. We said is true equal to false. No? Unreachable code detected? Why? Unreachable code detected. How in the world even? Oh, it's because it's after the return. All right, so we set it over here. My bad. Oh god. Okay, so over here is true is equal to true. And now should work. Dear God. What's going on? All right, let me console log it over here. I want to check whether or not it's actually like doing some sort of a recursive something. True. No, so it's not even like it's not even going through this thing. Oh. Because this doesn't have to be here. This actually has to be here. No, hold on. Okay, actually, I don't think it has to be here at all, actually. We just have to say, like, is true equal to false over here. And then here is true is equal to true. I think that's it. Christ. No. Okay. What if we set it to true over here again? All right, because now we changed the code a little bit. Okay, we got it. Okay, but I click on it again, but it doesn't give me, it doesn't de-highlight. Is true equal to false? I don't understand why it's working only when I set it to true, but then when I unset it, it stops working. Before return, or it's... Oh. Oh, my bad. I just saw that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hold on, if we set it like this. Like if we set it explicitly, would it work? No. No. All right, let me actually check the console because I didn't check whether or not it was actually printing. True, true, true. All right, now it's going in. But then I click on it again over here, it doesn't say anything. So when I set it to true over here, it actually goes into this. But if I don't set it to true over here, then it doesn't. And if I were to take a guess, I would think that it's because, yeah, I would think that it's because the value is undefined. We can actually try it out. We can actually say console.log is true, and this should return undefined. There we go. Wow, look at this. All right, so noted. Okay, so over here, this has to be equal to, oh, hold on. Hold on, actually we could set the ternary operator over here. We could say like equal to true, okay? Then set it to false. But if it's not true, then set it to true. Then save that, and we go into here, and then we reload it, and it's not gonna work. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Chisel, I didn't initiate what? What's the thing that I didn't initiate? Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I didn't initiate it. Yeah. That's why it was giving me undefined. And now I'm trying to initiate it with a ternary operator so that it would have a dynamic value. But now that I did that, I'm not sure whether or not... Oh, true. Holy shit. Why is it doing that? What if I set it inside this thing so that it only runs when I click? Because apparently that's what's causing the program to kind of go out of control. Okay, how about this? I'm gonna actually create a new function called check is true that handles checking whether or not the true value is true. Because apparently I can't do that otherwise. So here we'll return is true. Okay, and over here we'll say if check is true equal to true, check is true. If it's true, is it true? Yes, then false. If it's false, then true. Let is true boolean. I think this condition will always return false since types booleans and booleans have no overlap. Not sure what that means. I'm not a big fan of the GitHub page. It's really hard to read. I prefer the Stack Overflow. It's much easier on the eyes, much more user friendly, I think. You know, like you see where the correct answer is. You know, like over here in the GitHub ones, man, you have to like chase the correct answer. You know, it's kind of like a forum style kind of a. Website. Okay, so what do we got here? I have this condition on a form group. I have no overlap. Okay. Consider the standalone expression. The question mark false true, it's confusing to me. It's a ternary operator. Technically what it's supposed to do is that it checks, all right, so this is TypeScript over here, right? So it's just saying that let's define a variable called is true, and the type of this variable is Boolean, right? It's just setting like the type, right? It doesn't look very nice, but once you get used to it, it starts looking like something that makes more sense. And so we're setting this variable equal to true. But if it already is true, so this question mark checks, is it true? If yes, then make it false. This first value turns the value of the variable to false. But if it's not true, if it's false, then make it true. That's essentially what that does, it's like, and usually this is how the ternary operator is written. It's question mark and column. So it's check true, is it true? Yes, then make it false. No, then make it true, if that makes sense. And then we return is true. So when we return is true, that means we're returning the value that it has computed to. But then, so essentially what we're doing is we're passing this into this, and we're checking like, is it true? Check is true. Hold on, what if we actually... Check is true. Not check. No, hold on. Yeah, no, it should be correct. Should be correct. Yes. Okay. So that worked. Excuse me. All right. Well, it's working, right? And it's going into this over here, which is what's printing to the console log. But do you have to define this type yet? I mean, Boolean. Only if you're using TypeScript. If you're using TypeScript, usually like, well, I mean, you don't have to, but see, like if I take it out, sometimes it would give me a marked line underneath it saying like, oh, like this variable has a type of any. Like for example, this one over here. You see, like it marks it underneath it, and if I drag my mouse over it, it says parameter s implicitly has an any type. But a better type may be inferred from usage. So it's like telling me like, hey, please define what the type of this variable is, so that we would know whether or not you made a mistake and later on in the future, so that if you did, we can let you know that you didn't make a mistake. And it's just a way, I mean, TypeScript is generally used so that you don't make mistakes, or it like helps you not make mistakes, and that's why people generally use it. I mean, as far as my knowledge about it goes. So right, so over here all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to give this thing an argument. I think that's what it's called, right? But do you ever change is true value inside check is true? No. It doesn't, and that's what I'm trying to do right now, because I think, I think the way I'm going to do it, well, the ternary operator. Well, I need to call it right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good point. All right, so over here we do check is true. We call it. That's it. And then over here we call it as well. Check is true. Right. So every time we call it, this line runs, right? And do I need to run it here at the end? That's a good question. All right, let me not do it so I can see what happens. Huh, it's interesting. If check is true, then run this and return highlight, right? Else if check is true does not return true, then unhighlight. Okay, so does it go into this? Console.log false. I don't think it's going into it. Yeah, no, it doesn't go into it. But you gotta keep track if it's true. Right, so are you saying like Okay. So if I set it myself, you mean like this? So if I say like check is true, set it to false like this, and then what we do is here, instead of doing the ternary operator, we say is true equal to bool, and over here we say false. No, actually this one's equal to true. All right, so this one's true, it highlights, and then false, it unhighlights, right? And then we flip the value over, essentially. Well, I mean, essentially the same thing is happening. Same thing is happening. So weird, man. Like really, really weird. Try maybe keeping check is true inside the arrow function. Over here. Oh yes. Right, so we do this and then we go back to the way it was, right? We say this and then we say true, question mark, false, false, true, right? And so every time it does this, it goes into this and it checks it, and technically we should work. No. Yeah, I have no idea why it's not working either. set chosen. List of mouse click, what's it called? Operations, maybe? HTML? Mouse events. Mouse down, mouse up, mouse move, click, double click, context menu. Old code may use event.which property. That's an old non-standard way of getting a button with possible values. Oh, okay. No, that's not what we're looking for. I'm wondering whether or not like we can... Okay, hold on. Okay, this is where we were before, right? And every time we were clicking on one of them, we were getting a true, right? But the thing is that I get one click, two clicks before it stops working. And it's going into check is true, and then we're sending the false value into this, and then we're saying is true is actually now equal to the new value, and then return that new value. And then every time we're clicking again, it's going back into this and it's checking and it's resetting is true to true again. Why don't you create a new attribute for it and check if it's clicked? What would be the name of the attribute? Can it be two? Hold on. Set chosen T. Okay, so here, can I actually put this in between that, like this, and then add something here next to it? Is clicked. Can I say that? Something like this, you mean? Since s is an object, you could call, for example, s.isClicked equal true. You gotta use comma instead of if I'm not wrong. I don't know if it works actually, let me check. No. No, because this is a function, and if you want to write more than one line, you just have to have it wrapped around. Sorry. Yeah, I know I muted you guys because I was saying goodbye to my girlfriend. It seems that two functions cannot be called. No, they can be. You just have to separate them with this. When they say is const is clicked equal to this equal to that, bam. Right, and now we got two functions. The problem is that now I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking like, what do I want to have in there? Because Cash, how you doing, man? S dot is clicked. I mean, essentially, Chisel, that's exactly what I'm trying to do with the check is true, right? What I'm trying to do with it is that it's checking like, okay, but we're checking it with a Boolean, right? I don't know, like, whether or not it would make a difference if I tried to define it through this thing over here. Is clicked. Or if I try to, like, manage the Boolean maybe directly from the element itself. Could we have a ternary operator over here? I mean, if it makes things better for us. Unless we could say something over here like set chosen is equal to t, but checks whether or not it has already been clicked or something. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm going around in circles at this point. The point is, after you clicked once, next time you clicked, nothing has changed. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the current problem as it stands. What properties does t-object have? It returns something like this. Three key values. Three key value pairs. And I don't feel like this is going to do anything for us. The is clicked over here. And so if you add one more, let's say is clicked in T. Oh. Oh, like inject a value. That's interesting. Yo, because I've never actually thought about doing that. But I wonder how I can. All right, so like over here, we say something like S is clicked. I don't know if this is what you guys were talking about, but we say S is clicked equal to something like true, like this. Void cannot be used as an index type. Oh, hold on. We gotta remove this. What? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's still giving me that. What? Maybe dot? Is clicked does not exist on type object. I know, that's what I'm trying to add it. Hoisting, that's what it's called. Property is clicked does not exist on type object. Yeah, handle name. Oh, let me tell you. I think we need to actually have a different one for it over here. Set because we're setting chosen over here, and then we want to set clicked or something, or maybe handle clicked. Like this. And then over here we'll say handle clicked. And then over here we'll pass, let's say X. Then we'll pass T over here. Oh, there we go. And then this would be, what would it be? Boolean. No, actually not Boolean, actually. No. We're actually setting a value. I don't know what that would be equal to, but it doesn't matter right now. It's okay, we don't need to set it. So X dot is clicked equal to. So technically now what we would be doing when we do that is we inject, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. We inject the value of true to a new key that we're creating inside of our object that is being clicked with the key of is clicked. But now we need to remove it. How do you remove it? How do you delete that? How to delete a key value pair. Java. You change it? Okay. All right, but the is clicked would remain there then. It doesn't. Well, it's not particularly clean to do that. I mean, I guess no, it doesn't bother me. As long as I can, as long as it works, it's fine. It doesn't bother me, no. Okay, so but now I'm trying to think of like, okay, so if we define a new key value pair within one of the objects, right? But then we click on a different one, how do we delete the one that we had on the one before it? I'm thinking about how we do that. Yes, so you can only have one square selected at a time. And that's essentially what we've been trying to do this whole time. I'm sorry, I probably didn't explain it to you before we started like delving into into the solution. Right now, it's working. Like you can click on whichever one of these squares you want, and you know it highlights. Great. But the problem is that when you click on one and you want to unselect it or unhighlight it, it just doesn't do that, right? And that's essentially what I've been trying to figure out this whole time. But it's all right. You're good. Like, at least, you know, like it helped me broaden my perspective and to the possibilities, I suppose. I like this a lot. Did I save this? I hope I didn't save this. I think I didn't save it. I think we're good. But still, I'm wondering whether or not this could be something that could help us figure out whether or not, yeah, like actually, you know, thinking about it, if I figure this out, this actually solves one of the challenges that we're going to have later down the line, which is, you know, what if you have a unit on a specific square, then you want the JSON file to kind of reflect that, so you could kind of like feed the information within the JSON to several different players at the same time, right? So like let's say you have a player here, a player there, and the player there, and they're all playing together. They're all sourcing the information from one single JSON file, right? So essentially figuring out how to change the values like this would help me out a lot, and it actually could be a solution to the current problem that I'm facing. How exactly did you create every square? Okay, so I have this JSON file, okay, and I the JSON. Okay, so I'll take you back a little bit just so you can get a little bit of a background. I generated the map in processing. The processing, the way the map is generated in processing is one, you know, like each square is above another, right? So you get 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Now you bring that and you migrate it over to HTML and you render it one on top of the other, and instead of you getting something like this, the divs are rearranged one next to another, you know, because of CSS, right? So instead of you getting them in columns, you get them in rows instead, which and it gives you some, you know, well, it doesn't give you a map, right? It gives you something that is incorrectly arranged. So what I had to do was I had to create this that goes back into all the objects inside the JSON file, rearranges them so that yeah, so it rearranges them so that they are 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, right? They're saved in lines, right? So that when they are rendered in columns, you know, they would appear correctly after they're being rearranged by the HTML or the CSS, right? So this is what this does over here. Right, and this thing over here is the thing that goes through the JSON file and, you know, fetches all the data from it, the for-in loop, right? And this is what we take this and then we send it back into the for loop over here, which rearranges it, and then after it's rearranged. Yeah, after it's rearranged, we just send it directly to the return function over here. And we say, we map it, essentially. We say r.map, and we map it into divs, right? And then we extract some of the information inside the squares to give each one of the squares colors. And this is where we set the colors. Well, I mean, I think the reordering here was like, I didn't have to explain it, but you know, I kind of like just went with it and explained everything, you know, just to get you up to speed. But essentially what I'm doing is, all you need to think about is that I'm taking an array that has a lot of objects in it, and I'm just mapping them to a div. That's all I'm doing. Super simple. It's not complicated. I wouldn't say it's complicated. I mean, it took me a while to get here, but relatively speaking, I don't think it's complex or complicated. Then you just add one more property to every object. I wouldn't mind, right? So this is why I put this here. I just need to know, like, how do I change the how do I change the value of the key once I click on a different square? That's all I need to know. Because yeah. Maybe we can set state. Maybe we can const set square set square, like this. All right, and then we say equal to use state, and that's it. Okay, so and then we say like okay, so we said x dot is clicked equal true, and then we say set square. I'll get to it in a second, hold on. I say set square x. And then I say something like, okay, yeah, here is if square, right? So if square is you know, like if it's a valid value, like if there's a value saved inside of square, I want you to take the square, dot is clicked, and I want you to set it to false, something like that. And square. If square not equals to undefined, object is possibly undefined. Sometimes, man, like, I just told it explicitly, like, if square is not equal to undefined, run this. And then I look at this and it's like, object is possibly undefined. I know. I want you to run this if it's undefined. If not undefined, not working. Equals undefined. This is how I have solved my problem. Huh. Does it return a string of undefined? No. Oh, maybe we need to like do some error handling or something else. Like return error. Like, okay, hold on. So if square equal undefined. No. Else if square equal undefined. No. Try catch. Oh yeah. I just don't know how to use that. I was thinking of it right now. Try catch. Like I've actually haven't taken any course whatsoever that taught me how to do that. The try catch statement marks a block of statement to try and specifies a response should an exception be thrown. Okay. I'm not sure like what to do. Hold on. Let me read through it. Okay. Just put everything in try and in catch. You put what does the error is supposed to do. Okay. So we take this and we put it in between like this, and we say try this. So try this, and we say catch over here. Catch. Try expect. Oh, hold on. Where's the catch supposed to be in? Try this catch. Try. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Catch is here. Okay, so what can the catch be? Catch error. Okay, and what do we do with the error? Console.error. Okay, let's just do that. I mean, if this works, then great. It's pretty pissed off that we used this inside for some reason. A React use state is called in function handle click that is neither a React function nor a custom React hook function. React component names must start with an uppercase letter. Well, it's not a component, is it? Like if I said this to... Just to try. Okay, no, so now it's going into it, so that's good. Object is possibly undefined. I know. Object is possibly undefined. How to suppress? Yes, please. How do you suppress it? This feature is called strict null checks. To turn it off, ensure that the compiler flag is not set. However, okay, so how do we remove that? Man, it's TypeScript again. I told you, like, TypeScript, man, is throwing these stupid errors. TypeScript has two special types, null and undefined. Yeah, I'm sure they're very special, that have the null values and undefined respectively. Previously, it was not possible to explicitly name these types, but null and undefined may now be used as type names regardless of type checking mode. Type checker previously considered null and undefined. Okay, how do I how to turn off strict how to disable? Oh, it's over here. Oh, okay. All right. I think I know where it is. I do vanilla JavaScript. All right. Are you like learning to get to a point where you can start developing in JavaScript, or are you going to a different domain? I'm thinking maybe like something like this might actually work. It's actually safer, right? I like how it's written as well. Oops. I'm just a student trying to survive this cruel world, man. I feel you, man. We're all in it together. Which country are you from? Romania. Yeah, I've heard stories about Romania. Well, well, yeah, they're not good stories. No, you hear a lot of talk about gypsies and stuff. I remember I lived in a building with two Romanians. They lived, well, yeah. They lived on the last floor. Very small house, and they had a kitchen on the what do you call it? On the rooftop, like super small, and they're good people. And they talked to me a little bit about like the country and why they moved away and like what they're doing and stuff like that. No. Okay, so I want to set square here, undefined. So what is it going to be actually? An object, isn't it? It's clicked, yeah, object. So hold on. How do we set it? Can we say I don't remember how we say it. Object, like this. As object. Oh, okay, so what is it saying here? Type object is not an array type. I remember I defined it somehow like that. Object. Something like that. How to define use state type TypeScript. There it is. Oh, okay, so it comes before it. All right, so let's check this out. So if I take this and I paste it inside here, object, all right, or undefined as object. Does not, isClick does not exist on property on type object. I know, I want you to create it. So what year are you in? What are you majoring in? Is it computer science? Chisel X. Third year? Nice. So you probably got like a year or two left, right? One left, nice. Okay, so I can't call this on type object for some reason. I mean, one workaround, which is not something that I really want to do, is to like set a state, which is not something I want to do, to be honest. Hold on, can we set, hold on, yeah. Can we set square and set it equal to, like this, set it equal to undefined as any? I thought that every square has its own class that has X properties. Yes, that's correct. That's what's driving me nuts, man. Like, it's like, it's supposed to be working, but I just don't know why it's not working. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. Undefined. The left-hand side of an assignment expression must be a variable or a property. Can we set this here? No. Boolean is not an array type. How do you know it's a Boolean? All right, I think I might call it a night, man. Maybe sleep on this and think about it. Appreciate the follow, man. Thank you. Well, I mean, it's definitely appreciated, but I don't think it would be rude. Stack Overflow, I don't know, maybe I just like ask people, maybe get some help on it. I mean, you know, I hate to do it, but I don't see another way around it, unfortunately. It might be. I'm reading through it to see whether or not it is of any help. I still don't know how interfaces work, by the way. I mean, I have some idea, but not really. Key, I mean, all right, so, okay. This is like a compact version of a class, I think, you know, interface. And then here is like key value pair with an any. Can accept fields with any string as key and any type as value. The real elegance of the solution is that you can include type safe field in the interface. You kind of have to find a way to store more information in every square. Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. That's for sure. The only thing is that I'm probably not using this code where I'm supposed to be. Hold on. If square is not equal to undefined, hold on, no, I got it. If square is not equal to undefined and square equal to null, maybe, then we need to actually set it. Set square over here. I just set the square. And I just told it like, what? Okay. Can we do something with the set chosen instead and we forget all about the handle clicked? No, we wrote the if so that we can kind of bypass the error that we're receiving. But even with the if statement that says like, oh, if it's not equal to undefined, you know, do this, but it's not doing that regardless. But I'm thinking actually maybe we can actually use this set state instead. I don't know, like, what if we set state with the, okay. We initialize the state with the x, and that way the error won't be a problem. Done. Okay. You think so? Yeah, I think it's quite convenient too. Yeah. So if we start with this, then we set the square dot is clicked equal to true, right? But then we need to have some sort of a conditional that says square, you know, like that, you know what I mean, right? So that checks whether or not it's clicked. So every time we click on another one, the old one changes back to what it's supposed to be. Okay, so if here, okay, so if square dot is clicked equals to null, or this is huge. Hold on, let's 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 call f equals the square is clicked. So here, if f is equal to null, or f is equal to undefined, or f, no, hold on, yeah. If x, yes, that's correct. If it's null or undefined, or f is equal to false, then do this, right? Else, square is clicked is equal to false. What PC am I using? I'm not sure how to answer the question. What's what kind of answer are you looking for? Right, so now we've set a value to a key that we're creating inside the Is i3 11th gen fast enough for day-to-day use? And I'll be doing a little bit of programming too. What processor and GPU? i3. That's a little bit old, isn't it? i3 11th gen. 8 gigabytes RAM. Just a disclaimer, dude. Should do the, I'm not the guy that you should go to for hardware advice. Core i3 chips are good for everyday computing. Well, Tech Advisor seems to think so. Yeah. If you're on web browsers, office applications, media software, and low-end games, one of these will be ample. Yeah. Well, you should, but according to this, you should be fine. It's new but low end. Okay. Well, according to this, you should be fine, yeah? For day-to-day use without gaming. Right. There you go. I mean, what I'm running is, like something that's enough for streaming and stuff like that, right? So it's got to be pretty powerful, I suppose. Well, I mean, fairly powerful. Yeah, so going back to this chisel, the problem with it is that I'm actually using a use state, and then I'm setting the use state equal to this. Oh, okay, right. So we're just not setting the state. Alex. All right, will do. It's nice to meet you, Alex. One slow solution would be iterate through all cells and check if other is checked. No. Taurus, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like the only thing that I'm not convinced by is just whenever we're setting X here at the beginning, it's just like I don't want to set X at the beginning. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here, well, how about this? We'll do the if statement. Well, hold on. Oops. We'll do an if statement here, and we'll say like if it's undefined and whatever, blah blah blah. If square is equal to null, and square. No, we can't do that before the set state. I mean, it's weird though, because technically I should be able to say like, oh, if it's undefined and stuff like that, don't worry about it, you know, just run this and then maybe you'll be fine. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I could do. Hold on. Right, so if I say this, and then here, square equal to X. No, sorry, set state, set square, X. Right, so now we can remove this safely, hopefully, right? And then we can take this out for second. And over here we can say if square equal to null and square equal to undefined, set square. Fair enough. Then we take this. I think so. I'm not sure. No. Oh man, it's gonna give me that problem again, isn't it? Possibly undefined. All right, you know what? I've went 40 minutes past the schedule trying to figure this out. I mean, I think it's really good, you know, progress where we've gotten so far. To be completely honest, that's an error that I was actually, or a challenge that I was actually facing right at the beginning of my streams. It's actually probably one of the first challenges that I was trying to resolve, unsuccessfully, by the way. So now I'm back at it again, trying to figure it out. I'm going to give it a thought because I might have to actually use effect. Well, use effect. And that could probably fix our problem. So I'm gonna give it a thought, and I'm gonna come back next stream and we're gonna try to figure it out. So next stream is on Tuesday, possibly around the same time. We're not sure yet because we're moving the schedule. We're moving the schedule around a little bit, trying to figure out when's the best time for me to stream. But for those of you who are unaware, we are doing these streams because we are creating a platform for junior developers and, well, senior developers as well, where they can engage the community with question and answers and challenges, a little bit kind of like Stack Overflow, but adding on top of that is another layer upon which we have this entire system that quantifies all the users' skills. So your hard skills and your soft skills, like, you know, are you social within the community? Are you helping people out and stuff like that? And we compute all of that, and then we give access to recruiters. We give access to the recruiters that information so that they can find the people that they want to hire. And on top of that, we also like provide some hackathons and stuff like that. So having said that, if that seems like it's something that interests you, you know, it would be really nice. It would support me a lot if you actually followed our socials and stuff like that. The service will go online pretty soon. We actually have a hackathon that is you know, active right now, actually. So you can actually sign. I think it's either you can sign up right now, or it's like tomorrow or something. So you can sign up to an online hackathon, right? And you can get discovered by startups and companies, and you might be able to get hired as well. We have a bunch of companies that are lined up and they're ready to take juniors under their wing. And the challenges are fairly simple, I would say. I mean, it's probably just a little bit more complicated than what I'm doing right now, but I mean, you know, it's not senior level, it's junior level stuff. So I mean, if you're a little bit familiar with React, I mean, you should be good, you know. And yeah, so I would say, you know, like, just check it out. Check out the event, you know, see if it's for you, you know. You know, like, at the least you get your experience, you get some exposure, you get to network, you get to make friends and stuff like that, you know, which is I think you know, an indispensable thing. But anyway, having said that, I'm also uploading everything on YouTube on a daily basis, or after each stream, actually. So if you want to check YouTube out, you know, like, you feel like you know, you want to put that on the background, you can do that as well as you're studying. I mean, sorry. End of the day, my brain was a little bit fried. Tomorrow's Friday, so the platform is called Nuwe. So the way it's actually spelled is Nuwe, right? .io. Now, we're still setting it up. It's not ready. The website's still not ready. So what you can do is you go down to the bottom of my channel, or below my stream, and you'll find all the links that you need. I would say that Discord is probably the best place for you to be in right now. We have an active LinkedIn, an active Instagram, and an active Twitter. I'm running all of those, so pretty much all the content, excuse me, that you can see, you know, coming out from those mediums is pretty much you know, my work. Yeah. I want to do a good job at it, so any support would be very appreciated. Anyway, guys, so I'm gonna leave you. Have a good night. Happy coding, happy hacking. I'll catch you Tuesday around the same time, possibly. All right, have a good one. Much love, and take care. Take it easy, guys. Cheers, buddy.